don't know if you have.
We need to do roll call.
Do you have a? Okay.
Yep. So I'm going to go around. All right. Fred Prime.
Yep.
Charlotte Jones. Here. Sorry, I should specify. I'm going by my note. Bobby Levin. Here. Dan Sugg.
Here.
Scott McKee.
Here.
Pam Schurmeyer.
Here.
Kelly Garrett. Mark Watts. And Brian Forward. Chair, you have a quorum, but we do need a motion to excuse Kelly, Mark, and Brian. I did hear from all of them
Okay.
that they will not be in attendance today.
All right, I move that we excuse Kelly Garrett, Mark Watts, and Brian Ford.
Yeah, and I'll be happy to second that, Fred.
All right. Got a motion and support. No question. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right. Motion carries.
All right. Now we're to the agenda.
Now we're to the agenda. All right. And this is the first item. You have the agenda, and that needs
So we need to
approval.
Yep, a motion to approve the agenda.
Okay.
Motion to approve the agenda.
I will second the motion.
All right. Have a motion and support. Any other comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. Motion carries.
Next up, we have our approval of the
Approval
minutes.
of the minutes.
I would love to note
I think I
all of
wasn't there
the
at this one.
nominations to chair, vice chair, and secretary was great to see. I love to see that. And the only reason I seconded them was because they beat me to making the motion, so. Yeah, so congratulations
All
to
right.
all those guys. But I'll make a motion to accept the minutes as presented.
All right. Dan's got the motion.
I'll second.
We have support. No other questions? All those in favor? Aye. No opposed. All right, motion carries. Financial review. Pam?
All I want to say is this is from April, and now I will not get the money until June from the county. The county has, they're doing a new program, and so they're back behind on when they should be giving us their revenue from the taxes and that. So I did update for the budget. That Susie will go into later on the budget and that, but I did update that, and on your actual this year for your TIFA captures, you guys are receiving $360,000.
Okay.
And your tax collection other, you're receiving $36,000. So that was good because you guys only budgeted $105,000 for the TIFA capture taxes last year. So you guys are really doing great on that portion of it. So
Great.
thank you, Michigan First.
I was going to say, that's still coming from Michigan First.
Oh, it will. Most of it will.
Most of it will, yeah.
But
It's
we
all
do
the
have some
bowling
new,
revenue. we get.
Revenue, nice.
we do have some new buildings coming in, like the gas
Yeah, the
station, but
gas
those aren't
station.
up and running yet, so.
So we won't see anything from them until they're actually operational.
Well, you're seeing a little bit maybe, but not the full.
Yeah,
Not
we'll,
the full.
we'll
Yeah.
start seeing, and I can get into this a little bit more with the budget, but as I was going through and putting in the numbers, I think there seems to be some good consistency between the TIFA revenue this year and last year, which are, I mean, that is directly related to Michigan First. I think next year we'll see, we'll probably see a little bit from the redevelopment of the plaza where Ruby Lee's is. I think we'll see that next year.
Actually, yeah,
I
that's
think we'll
coming in.
see that next year. We'll see a little bit from BP, right? So I think we'll see a slow march upward. We do have, and then there's going to be Panera Bread is doing some developments. You know, that's going to be redeveloped. So, but I'll get into that later.
Yeah, we're kind of getting ahead of
Yeah.
ourselves.
Yeah, so that's, I just
Yeah.
want to let you know that the April report, because you guys are always, you know, like a month behind.
We're a month behind,
Yeah,
but
so.
now does that make us 2 months behind? Because we're
Well,
looking
the
at
meeting-
June, or is it still
Well, I
considered
don't-
1 month?
It's 1 month, because I have to do May's
Right.
report for the next one, so.
Right, right on. Yeah, that
So
makes
you get
sense.
the but when the information is recorded, we're always a month back.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
So we just need a motion to receive and file the financial report from April.
Oh, I'll be happy to do that, Fred.
Okay. So a motion, support. All right.
Hey, before we leave this though,
Yeah.
I see that Giffords Webster was very busy for us in April. What are they working on? Do you know?
Which one are you? Are
I'm
you
on page.
Are you in the expenditures or are you doing
Page,
the
page
detail?
6 of the PDF. This is under activity.
A lot of
Planning
this,
and consultant fees, is that where you're looking?
we've done a lot of meetings with them for the Panera Bread redevelopment. They're doing a planned unit development, which is a little bit more intensive a process than the typical site plan review process that our businesses may go through, right? So there are literally more meetings, more steps, so there are more reviews. So that's part of what that is.
I see.
They've also been working on, we did some work on an electric vehicle charging
Station.
ordinance.
Yeah.
So that they were working on the ordinance development for that, as well as the capital improvements plan. So those are the three biggies for that.
Thank you.
Yep.
Do we need to redo our motion to receive then? If there was a
Uh,
comment and a question after the fact, or are we still good on that?
Nope, we just need to do all in favor. So we've got the motion, the second, now we.
Okay.
That's motion, second, discussion, then vote.
Yep.
I can never keep that straight. Motion,
Motion, second.
then discussion.
Motion,
Second.
second, then discussion,
Discussion and vote.
then vote.
Oh, because it seems like the discussion would go first in my mind.
Yeah.
I don't know, I always have
You're
that
too
backwards. A mental
logical,
block I have.
They're too logical.
Yeah, exactly,
You
too
must-
logical.
I'll get you all a copy of Robert's Rules if you like.
We'll never read it.
I got a cheat sheet. It's pretty awesome. So,
All right. So we do have the
Yeah.
All in
motion,
favor.
support,
Yep.
and all's in favor.
Aye.
Aye.
All right. Motion carries.
all right. Great.
Committee reports.
So I didn't get anything written down. Really, the most active committee right now is the Juneteenth committee. We have been meeting monthly. I don't know, since February, March, for the planning of the event. That is, it's going really well. We are working to finalize we've got most of our lineup, so that we're hoping to have, Nanu Japu, the African dance troupe that closed it out last year. We're hoping to have them attend, but unfortunately, they're booked solid. So we are kind of back to the drawing board on a final act, but the Juneteenth committee is meeting again next week to finalize some more discussions on that. But we do have vendors secured. We've got some small food vendors. We've got some actual vendors selling their wares that are going to be in attendance. We'll have some bounce houses. We've got a storyteller, hustle instructor. We are doing the diversity champion nominations once again. So you should have all received an email with a whole boatload of information. Those nominations we are accepting for someone under the age of 18, someone over the age, a resident under the age of 18, resident over 18, community group, and a business to recognize for those champions. So if you have someone that you'd like to nominate, please make sure that we get those nominations by June 10th. We will be presenting them with a really nice plaque, which is what we did last year. So this information is out on all of our social medias. It's been included in the e-newsletter. I need to make sure that I've got it on the website, and it will be in the Southfield Sun on the 8th. So
The drive for nominations or the advertisement for June 13th?
all of it.
Oh, all of it.
Yep. So in in last week's e-newsletter, we had the links are, and it'll stay until the event, right? We had the links for the nomination form out there, as well as all of the event information. So open to suggestions as to whether or not you think it would be valuable to do a direct mailing to the businesses for that. I'm not 100% certain that it would be, but you know, that's where we're at with that. Promotions has also been meeting, but not quite as regularly. Their time has been taken up more so with the Juneteenth planning. And then unfortunately, EV is not met yet. But we will be meeting again we will pick it back up in June. I have some things we need to chit chat about. So, so that's kind of where we're at for our committees. So, beautification. We need to. Some of our beautification members got new jobs, which is why we weren't able to get in contact with everyone.
yeah.
So, I am going to do a push early next month for some more volunteers for all of our committees. I think we need to really push that envelope a little bit more. So, but that's where we're at for committee stuff.
Do you have enough volunteers to do the flower planting? Speaking of the beautification, or is it just the two of you? Like, do we need volunteers for that?
We will need some volunteers for that. I recruited 3 people last night around the dinner table. So they are.
Well, I heard the police department was very interested in offering their assistance.
Right.
All those guys and gals can't wait to get in that dirt.
Right.
Right?
So we tell them.
Photo opportunity.
Right? So we tell them. We're using the police assistants for their mechanical assistance
Yeah, exactly.
on our watering can right now. But so we are going to have a planting party on Saturday. It threw together at the very last minute because our flowers literally just arrived this week. So
Well, and I did see you put something on some social media that I was looking at.
yes, yeah, it's out on Facebook and Instagram, I believe, right? So
So maybe some other neighbors will show up.
I'm hoping, right? I'm hoping. So, but we will be doing that tomorrow from 9 to noon. So, for the planting party. And then we are also going to do our cleanup on June 4th from 10 to 11. So we'll need volunteers for that as well.
9 to 11.
Yes.
That's the same one now?
Oh, did I say 9 to 11? 9 to 11. Sorry. So.
Back to Juneteenth, did we decide on a stipend requirement?
We were talking
For the
about
food
that.
vendor?
I know we're gonna get to it, but we did talk about. I circled back to.
Oh, it's on,
Pam.
sorry,
Yeah.
sorry. I was just looking at the
So
minutes,
we.
but,
How about I wait? And
Yeah,
I'll
it's
get
just
to
right,
that.
yeah.
So.
my bad.
Do you have that under
Uh,
in terms of the sequence here?
Old business.
Old
Oh,
business.
okay. Oh, okay. You've been
Yep.
a second.
So,
Okay. Okay.
but that's it for the general committee report.
All right, and then a question, I think this is in the director's report about the Panera. Just curious, on their development, are they using any of the facade grant, or is that going to be a part of what they do?
They haven't asked. I doubt it. I doubt that they will be asking for any sort of
anything?
financial assistance. So since we're in this report, so Panera is going to be. They're moving to the bank. So
Oh,
old
they
bank,
are?
Yep,
Oh,
at
okay.
27777. They're actually going to. They've gotten their preliminary approval or vote of confidence, if you will, from the Planning Commission at their meeting last week. They will be appearing before, and there was a public hearing on the 17th at the Planning Commission for the project. They will be appearing before City Council on the 1st to get their approval for the planned unit development. And that's where council will direct the city attorney to craft the development agreement that goes along with the planned unit development approval. Like I said earlier, it's a little bit different of a process than a normal site plan review. Usually, you put together your plans, you go to the planning commission, they either say yes or no, and then carry on with the rest of your development. I mean, that's obviously a very distilled process, but the planned unit development is, you know, they have to get, it's contractually based, right? So there's actually, it allows for a little bit more flexibility in the application of the ordinance than perhaps, and something that would be more appropriate than, say, securing a variance. I mean, it doesn't allow them to skirt ordinance requirements, right? Like, if they could get a variance, they'd have to go get a variance. But it is contractually based.
Okay.
So there's, like I said, there's a few extra steps. They'll get, they've got their recommendation. They have to get approval from planning or from council to do the contract, and then they will go back to planning commission for their site plan approval, right? So they still have a few more steps to go. But they will be, their intent is to demolish the existing building over there and build their brand new concept. So this will be the second construction of their brand new design concept. They only have one other one at their flagship store down in St. Louis. So this will be their second one.
Well, that's claim to fame for Lathrup Village.
Yeah, that's, I mean, we,
Right.
We're
and,
number 2.
We need to just really promote
The
the
new
crap out of
Panera.
that then,
Yeah.
right?
New
And no
Panera.
support, you know, abatement requests or nothing from us or
Nothing.
from the city.
Wow.
Nothing from us. They, you know, and they do have to provide a little bit more. Like, you know, they need to go above and beyond. So they're going to be doing they're going to heavier landscaping than we would normally require. They do have, they are supposed to have some sort of amenity, right? So it could be, you know, we've suggested doing like an art installation, you know, additional bike racks, and even heavier landscaping, something else. So that'll be something that is kind of negotiated just a little bit further down the line.
But the bike racks, how can we
Excellent.
promote the bike racks, seeing as how we just did the bike trail system last year? You know, that makes sense for the residents to be able to just zip up there.
Right. So we've talked about, you know, I've mentioned it to him before. You know, what about installing another bike repair station? You know, we've got one over
Oh,
here.
for sure.
There's one over
That'd be ideal.
over at Golden Gate Park. So, I mean, that would be a good location for it. So we'll see, you know, how some of that plays out. But so they'll, assuming everything stays on track,
Yep.
we should have a new building by the end of
Wow.
the year, early next year.
That makes a total of 3 guys. Because we had Surnow, we've got the gas station, now this. Dare I say we call that momentum?
I think we can call it momentum.
Have we any news on the vacant spot then that Panera would leave behind? Can the DDA do anything in terms of marketing?
I'm sure
Can we
that
help you go after somebody for that, or is that a Surnow project?
it would still be a Surnow project. I'm sure that Surnow would be delighted for a little extra help, right? I mean, I regularly field calls from contacts that Surnow has. Oh, hey, I want to do, like, there's an individual that's interested in doing kind of pop-up event space over in next to FedEx, right?
Okay.
Where that No Limit Sports
Yeah,
used
yeah,
to be.
right on, yeah.
She wants to do an event space there, right? So,
But they would be leaving behind a kitchen.
right.
And so that's nice to take advantage because the footprint needs that. We have the one down the way, which is now closed.
Right.
We have Jagged Fork, of course, but that would give us, you know, starting to get that Royal Oak vibe going.
And I think, at least in the conversations that I've had with Surnow about it, I think they're very comfortable pursuing restaurant space over there. We did do, we worked with them on a survey back at the beginning of the year that we put out in the e-newsletter about, you know, what kind of spaces, what kind of things would you like to see at the school, right? To help them kind of guide their, you know, like a mini market study, right?
Right, right.
Help guide them, like what kind of things would you like to see there? And the resounding top two were food and beverages. Give me some food, give me some beverages. So
Nice.
I think we can continue to see some of that
right.
happening.
That's exciting.
So,
Very good.
But otherwise, you know, what's in there, we continue to move forward. I do want to introduce you all to Brittany Dorsey. She is our brand new DDA and Special Projects Manager.
Yeah, round of applause.
So kind of you all.
Well, we got to meet you under horrible circumstances, poor thing.
I mean, that of the main event.
Oh, good grief, you've got a lot of,
we didn't win.
and then we didn't win, how
And then we had
horrible.
to listen to Mary, but no, so I am so excited that Brittany's here and she's gonna be doing all things awesome with us. Brittany has a basketball and community organizing background, and given that we are focused on community organizing, I think that this is gonna be this is a match made in heaven. We're already really working well together, and
Nice.
you know, it's just been a couple of weeks, and we're moving forward full
All
steam
good,
ahead.
no complaints so far?
No complaints from me. I'm not a big complainer.
It's just
she
stuffy,
is the
stuffy
yin
up
to my
here.
yang or the yang to my yin. I don't know. She's the chill to my spaz. Okay, like let's just
There you
call
go.
it what it is,
Wow,
right?
that's interesting.
Right?
Yeah,
Somebody's got to keep me on the level. So,
yeah, there you go.
So you'll start seeing Brittany all over the place. We were out there weeding and watering, and you know we're just you start getting some more emails from her with events and stuff like that. So
Great,
Yep.
glad to have you.
Thank you, guys.
Welcome.
So I know we were still in the committee report.
we can say we moved into the
Yeah, there's nothing to
No.
accept. So we moved to the
Yep.
next item.
moved to there. So.
And you kind of transitioned into the May
Report.
Yep.
of your report, and
Does that need to be accepted? Or
No.
Okay.
You know what? And I'm gonna say on the for my report, I did find out that we are not actually having this coffee with Coulter, which was supposed to be yesterday. So we didn't have that. They ended up canceling that at the last minute. So, but yeah, unless there's any other questions on the director report, we can move on to code enforcement.
anything? Yes. So regarding code enforcement, I know we don't have the agent
Here. Yes. So you
cover that also.
Yep. So we've been asking Rami to get out there and do some more detailed inspections and really just staying on top of things. So that is so what you have here is his report. He usually goes mid-month, right? Like
okay?
so usually like he's been at it.
Maybe just scroll through.
We are going to have him leading up into, and I talked to the chief, and we'll have Scott update us with anything else or add to it. But we are going to ask Rami to do be kind of somewhat lax on commercial code enforcement next week, leading up to the cleanup. Right? We have the cleanups on the 4th, so we're going to give him a little bit of leeway. And then say, all right, here comes down on the 6th, right? So you have a week of grace, and then we're gonna go back to stronger enforcement. We'll have another cleanup in July. It'll be the same kind of thing.
So I have a question.
Yes,
With
ma'am.
this cleanup and the fact that you want businesses to clean their areas and all of that, is there some guidance on where to put things? And I'm gonna tell you why I asked. We had a code enforcement violation at the building for branches hanging over.
Right.
You know, he went the same day, cut them down, and we were told to sit them on the Guy Street side on the grass, and they would be picked up.
Okay.
They did stay there for like a month, and nobody picked them up.
Okay.
And then we received a resident complaint that they were out there, but that's where we were told to put them.
Right.
So then we were told, well, put them on the front line. So we put them on the front line, and they didn't get picked up. And so with things like that, you know, at least having solid information
Yes.
for the business owners to do what they need to do, because not everybody ignores. You know, some people really want to do what they need to do,
Right,
but they
right.
need to know what to do.
Sure. Well, and that's communication and making sure that code enforcement is really effectively communicating is something that we've been working on
Okay.
with him quite diligently over the last few months.
If he's just doing the code enforcement, who would have been the responsible group that he should have, well, I don't want to say he should have, but who's the responsible group that would then go back and get the stuff?
That would be the
He's not going to
city's-
go back and get it.
No,
No.
Right.
Fontenot would be the is it Fontenot? Is that how
Yeah.
you say it? Fontenot is the contractor that has the chipping contract. So,
So if you would have called City Hall, we would have sent them out
yeah.
there for
So
it.
Oh, okay.
Like,
So
or-
you
yeah.
needed to know that
Yep,
it was
there's-
there.
That it
That's
wasn't
what we
picked
need
up.
to
Okay.
retrace.
Right.
Because
That's
they're
the
supposed to be,
breakdown.
because they're supposed to be doing it on Monday. Monday's
Yes.
shipping day.
Mm-hmm.
So if it wasn't picked up on that Monday, because then we would have probably called them. Because I had somebody called me yesterday that their branches weren't picked up, and so we got a hold of them, and they went back out yesterday and picked them up for them.
Well, wait,
Okay.
is that
Because of
every
Holly.
Monday?
Every Monday, they're supposed to
Okay,
go
well
around
then
and check.
why can't we kind of make a more systematized approach here where he then says, look, you have a week to do this, but FYI, Monday is the day. You know, maybe they went out the very next day and they're, you know, trying to be due diligence and above board and do it. They didn't need to do it that day. They could have
Right.
waited, you know, to maybe they had clients or customers or who knows what they're doing as a business. But let's get that information out there and be
Are those dates
Communicative.
in the newsletter, pick up dates for certain things?
They were.
But see, what
I
you're
mean, they
doing
were
with
at
that-
one point, I think I put it out there like when spring happened.
Right, but you're
Yeah.
putting the onus on the person. Like, you're all worried, oh my gosh, I'm going to get a ticket or something. You're not going to go, gee, let me go to the website and go look this information up. That's just yet another step.
It could even be on the citation.
Right.
Exactly, right, Fred. Like, at the moment of impact, see it as a system. What does the business or resident need, or whoever he's going after?
Well, and
What's
we-
the most information that we can give them? And if you have questions, don't forget the website is there for you or something. Or
Okay. And we did put together a trifold, I think it was last year, for the common 8 code enforcement issues throughout the business district. He unfortunately has not been very diligent about getting that information out there.
Right, but see, there
So we
again
should
is the
put-
user, Susie. I think that if you're a new business, yes, I'm going to read that. I'm going to go, whoa, what is this? You know, my heart's going to pound. I'm going to read it. Okay, but if you just knock on my door and you go, hey, just so you know, good grief, I'm going to go, where do I keep this document? That's my biggest problem, because I am not even going to read it. I'm just going to file it somewhere.
Well, and I think it's part of almost like a two-pronged like communication approach. Like, hey, by the way, you have something that needs to be rectified on your property, right? So
Okay.
chipping, all right. So here's the information on what you need to do, when you need to have it done by. These are
That
this
would
is
work.
the date
I
for
see. That would
chipping and
work.
whatever. Also, so we can be proactive and we don't have this again. Also, here's
Yes,
the
yes,
brochure
okay, that's
that
good.
says
That
these are those
works.
top code
Yes.
enforcement issues. So you know,
That scenario works.
yeah, like a one. That's so.
You know, as far as the wood chippers go, do they cover the business district?
They cover the entire city.
Do we need them to come
It
once a
doesn't sound like
Monday?
they covered the entire city for
Is
a
that
month.
overkill?
Right, well.
How much
Yeah, I mean,
chipping
I
is
know that
going
they
on
say they
around
come,
here? I mean,
Oh,
does
there's
it
a
need
lot
to
of
come?
chipping.
a week.
There's a lot of chipping.
Like they can't go down to once a month or something?
Oh, no, not here.
God, if you
Really?
saw if you saw the tree that annihilated my fence last night, yeah, that's
Really?
that's probably standard for,
Yeah.
big giant tree comes down all the time around here. So,
Okay.
We just had one.
So Susie, are you within your rights as the director
Saturday.
to meet with Rami and kind of say we hashed out some scripting?
for sure.
And
Yes.
and your second scenario, that works.
Okay.
That really does work.
Yes, I'm
Does that
sure.
answer your
Like maybe we
does.
could have coaching or role playing with him or something. You know, like
I'm
give him a
Bobby,
few
maybe-
scenarios.
Sending
and-
him to you to
Bobby-
be
Oh, yeah.
Bobby, Bobby can just do a ride along.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, I
right?
love
Yeah,
that.
absolutely great.
Special agent Bobby Levin.
Special agent.
Special agent.
Well, because you
Bobby
can see it
Lovitz.
from both folks' perspectives.
For sure,
You
yeah.
know, but it's just make it the easiest as possible for the business owner.
Yes.
Their heartbeat is towards
Yeah.
what they're trying to sell, their wares, making a profit. You know, let's make it as easy on them as we can, I think.
Absolutely.
Agreed.
Okay, anything further on code enforcement report? All right. Again, there's nothing to accept here, right? Okay, so we move on to old business and the Juneteenth food vendor stipend.
Yes, so we talked about this
right there.
very briefly at our last meeting, and the board wanted a proposal from the Juneteenth committee on what exactly we felt they felt would be a good amount for food vendors. Discussion-wise, we came up with, we would like to offer $500 to up to, let's see, how do I want to say it? $500 per food truck, no more than 2 food trucks. So if that $1,000 to provide food truck stipends. It would not be for any of the other vendors. It would just be for food trucks.
And this is a minimum, so they know at the least, I'd make
Yes.
$1,000 or
Yeah.
$500.
It's
Exactly.
like a participation fee for them to come.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's
Just
guaranteed
very
at least
difficult to
500.
get them to commit without.
Without that
Yes,
minimum.
exactly. I mean, that's
kind of
really a
threshold.
hurdle.
And
Do you-
then is it a deal where we sell tickets so that once it's met, we're not out the 1,000, we, get it back? Where, because
I
if they
mean-
come and make 2,000, it's not, like they're making 2,500, I mean, we get the 500 back, or is it?
Wait, how does that work? How do you do that?
Well, honestly, I don't even think we want to necessarily go that far. I think to say like, hey, we'll give you $500
I
is,
think given the history and
Yeah.
food trucks that we've had at our events here, they don't really make enough to
Yeah.
them to come.
So
So
competitive.
we're
Yeah.
subsidizing them to come.
We might
Got it.
I don't
But
think we're
I would-
seeding the money.
I would think too, if you're offering them a stipend, that stipend is to get them to commit. We'll give you $500 if you bring your food truck. That's if they don't make it. If they don't make anything, then at the end you walk up and here we have guaranteed you $500. Here's your $500. If they make it, then you've met the commitment because you told them that by being here they would at least
Yeah.
get $500. I
Right.
think that's how you look at it.
That's what I'm
Or
saying.
At least that's
Yeah.
how I would
That's what I
look
was
That's how I
saying, like,
look at
if they were to make the, whatever that minimum number is,
right.
if we had some system where it's a ticket
We're kinda
situation
trusting
where we
the
would know
system with
what they
that,
made.
You
Well, no,
are.
if we had tickets or something like that, then
Yeah, I
you'd
think
know,
It gets
right?
convoluted
It's an open
though.
event, so the only proceeds we get would be from the vendors who pay $25 a table. We're only gonna have 15 tables. So we wouldn't really receive any revenue from the food trucks at all.
It just adds to the ambiance.
Exactly.
It's making it an exciting
Especially
event.
considering where we're
Interesting.
putting everything, there's no, we need them to help attract more people, I guess. But even if we just
And that's
had,
something that's standard in the, this space, or, this kind of, the food truck
Well, it's been hard for
Activities.
Lathrop because we've had the food truck Fridays
Yeah,
here,
yeah, I
and
remember
then
that.
all of a sudden, like the day before, they would pull out because they weren't getting. They knew that they wouldn't have any business here or enough business to keep them going. So
Got it.
it was very. We had to kind of do away with the food truck Fridays because of that, because they were canceling on us last minute.
And it's super competitive.
And people
Royal-
are,
they're
yeah,
down in Royal
so-
Oak and Detroit and
I
stuff.
mean, yeah, they're going to bigger places where they're getting a lot more people. They're getting the traffic. And
Yeah.
in Lathrop, they weren't getting the traffic here because, you know, one week you might have it, but the next week you might
Okay.
not. And it's
Got
just, it's not a given thing here.
I
Okay,
see.
wait.
I see.
Okay, didn't we also talk at our last meeting that if we didn't pursue the stipend idea, that we were maybe looking at some of our own restaurants? Did we talk about that, or am I?
As vendors, but not necessarily food trucks. The restaurants would be vendor, they could set up vendor tables, but I don't know if we discussed.
And how would they do that, right? Because there's code and stuff involved in transporting food. So they cannot take the place of a food truck. Plus the ambiance. I mean, the
Right.
food trucks are cool looking, they're all tricked out and stuff. I see. So they can only do so much as a business.
You did talk about highlighting a up and coming chef or something because of the kitchen downstairs. I remember briefly
Yeah, we did talk about that.
discussing that,
Like,
but I
are there-
don't know if anything
is-
really
You're right.
developed out of
Is
that.
there any way, do we have 2 trucks that have committed?
So on the radar, I believe Pam had 2 people. She was waiting for a response from the board in reference to the stipend, because when I reach out, I try not to mention the stipend, but like we said, it's competitive. So it's tough to get people to commit without some type of promise for revenue. That's why the whole stipend idea came about. But once again, we are kind of losing in the situation. But
Yeah.
Well, we don't have much time left.
Right,
Right?
exactly.
right.
Now we're looking at the event happening, and we've got basically 2 weeks.
And it'll still be an awesome event without the food trucks. This is just a visual.
Yeah, it just
Aesthetic.
really is, and it's a nice way to get additional people because you can promote the food trucks.
Exactly.
Some people do like a treasure hunt, and you want to find where that food truck is on that day. People that are food truck enthusiasts, I guess. So the more popular the food truck, but they're going to Detroit, they're all over the place. It's a thing, it's out there.
Yeah, no,
No, it's a
I've heard
thing.
that. Yeah, and that always to hear it. I
I've
mean,
never done
I've heard
it,
it
but it's a
before,
thing.
but it's
Exactly, well, is there any way that we could replace
I
them?
know what she
twist on
does
it.
when she says it. It's a little
Like
Puts a
a
little twist on it.
barbecue or
There's actually a
something?
permanent park in Plymouth now in the industrial area that they have.
Oh,
a food,
dear.
It's a food park.
For food
A
trucks.
food
Yeah, you have
park?
trailers and
Yeah.
trucks back in there. Yeah.
Oh, it's a food park.
And Nicole reached out to Susie recently about revisiting the Food Truck Fridays. So food trucks won't be completely out of the picture if there's no Juneteenth food truck. However, we do need to rebuild our food truck database and kind of gain some type of relationship with these food
Yeah.
truck owners.
Are,
Because
how-
We
is
are
there
in a
is there a
relationship
database
preparing.
that tells us about food truck dudes that are just getting started? Like, I've been operational for a month. Like, they're just getting into it. Like,
well, I'm gonna have to test out what they are selling. Man, we got to make sure that they
You
have
know-
some good products.
I will accompany you on that.
You know,
yes,
so we can do a test
Officer
run.
Scott at the ready.
We'll develop a list
Deputy
of
Bobby
new-
and Officer Scott will be sampling all the food.
Exactly.
I'm just gonna interrupt here for a second. We only have Scott for like another 15 minutes
Uh-oh,
because then
we
he's
better
gotta
cease
hop
the
into a
talking.
meeting,
Cease and
and
desist.
we got a quorum issue. So we can keep on it. But what do you guys? I guess what do you guys think?
I think it's imperative that we offer them something.
Amen.
Yep,
It's
I agree.
imperative.
I agree.
Okay.
I think we agreed
And,
last time.
and, and
It's
it's
just the amount.
and we're
so.
funding a community
I
event,
mean,
so
I think $500 is reasonable. It
And
might
that's
be enough
standard.
to get.
Again, that's
Yeah.
standard in the
Definitely
I,
business.
I support a
absolutely.
All right, so we
motion
got a motion?
to up to $1,000 for 2 food trucks to come in. So
Okay, so we got motion up to
Awesome.
$1,000 for
I
2
second it.
food trucks for Juneteenth. Support.
Awesome.
Any
all in favor.
discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposing? None. Okay, motion carries.
All right, awesome. So I'm gonna hop straight into this lovely. Isn't this so pretty? by the
Yeah,
way?
it's
I have fun
gorgeous.
creating this. Sorry. Anyway, stay on task. So you've all seen. We saw the draft version last month. I mean, you can see where we've brought in, last year we had 419,000. Our numbers right now are 400, just over 420. I'm still being really conservative with what our revenue is going to be for next this upcoming fiscal year. We did get a lot of grants and some other miscellaneous revenues, so I don't really want to bank too much on those. So I've got our revenue estimated to be 363,776. I actually, in the appendix, is where that detailed sheet was.
Is revenue different than TIF?
Revenue
Is
includes
all.
the TIF.
It includes the TIF.
It includes the TIF, the other tax collection, which is the 2 mills, right? Any special assessments we may levy, miscellaneous revenues, so that's, any sponsorship dollars, any grant funding. We do get interest on our fund balance. We do have a separate federal and state grant for those larger items. But I want you guys to check out that detail page, since I think this was the more, at least for me, this was the more helpful part of the budget when I was going through and really identifying exactly what we're doing. Last month we talked about making some adjustments to in the trainings and membership, and just kind of adding a little bit more to the miscellaneous trainings. After having attended the National Main Street Conference last week, I think we're kind of missing the boat by not sending some board members. So I added some funds in there to.
Did you double it then?
Is that
I did, yeah, I
Just go
doubled
ahead
it.
and double it because it's already set at 2 people, or is it set at 1 person?
2 people.
And that's in Hawaii? Where is it?
Yeah, well, we are only able.
If it's in next month, next year it will be at the end of March, and it's going to be in Boston. So
darn.
I know. I feel
That's a
bad for
drag. I won't be
every
able to attend.
Texan that's going to come in with like a windbreaker and be like, "This is awesome." They're going to be in for the rudest awakening ever. So I did bump up the conference training for National Main Street to include 2 board members plus Brittany and I. I did add in there under the Main Street program, movie night in the park. There is a program through Oakland County Parks and Rec where they provide
Yes, they
all
do.
the outdoor stuff. So we signed up for that.
But
so
wait, is that a DDA thing?
yes, that'll be a DDA thing.
That's a
Movie in the
DDA
park,
thing.
and we'll have it right back here.
Yeah, they do that where I live.
So I've got that in there. Let's see where the other big one was.
Wait, you don't have to pay for that though. It's free.
There is a cost for that. It's $1,300
To the DDA. Not
to the DDA.
Yeah.
Right?
Correct. Right.
So, and then I added. Let's see. Where else did I add? I added in the repairs and maintenance. I had somehow forgotten to put in my hawk signals, so the 250,000. And really, those are the biggies. So
I know we talked about the parking lot and
Yes.
getting bids on it. Is that part of this, or where was that?
no, we are not. We haven't gotten bids for that. I think we need to sit down with. I've talked about it with Scott Ringler, the city's engineer. I've talked about it with Bruce Cantor. He's the chair of the infrastructure committee. And I told him I think that we need to have a conversation overall with the infrastructure committee and council to see how they would like to. I believe that needs to be a cost share
Right.
on how we
For
do
sure.
that. So with everything that we are, year 2 is pretty intense in terms of the infrastructure projects. So I think that'll be something we want to try and tackle next year. for the rehabbing of that. So,
So that'd be 24 you're talking about?
yeah, I think, yeah,
23,
23, 24.
23, 24.
So it'd be in-
Okay, and then if you did a cost share, is it too premature to discuss percentages? Would that
Maybe
be a
a-
conversation we'll have down the road?
I think that's a conversation to have down the road.
And we have limited time for today anyhow, so,
Yeah.
okay.
So but it's not definitely not off the radar. So I just think we need to have a little bit more multi-party discussions. How's that?
Definitely, definitely.
So so there is. I mean, it looks like we've got a whole lot. I mean, I've got us in here. Our estimated expenditures is being $828,911. We will be dipping into our fund balance.
Yep.
We know this. Most of that is the infrastructure stuff.
Okay, but is the Hawk in there or not
Yes,
in
the
there?
Hawk is in there.
It's in there.
But the,
Hawk-
okay, that's us flipping the bill for the Hawk.
Yeah.
Okay, you were gonna do a grant.
I'm
She
still,
got-
I'm still working on
Oh,
finding
so we
grants
haven't
for
even
it.
heard back?
No,
on
but I want to
see,
make sure
too
that we
premature.
have this in the budget and we can say, we are budgeting for this, darn it. We are going to make pedestrian crossings.
Well, it
a
would be
thing,
ideal
and-
if you've got movie night, then you've got a Hawk, now you got somebody new in the Panera building.
Yeah.
Give them all a liquor license, I'm sorry, but now I can just stroll across the way and walk home.
Right. And
That would
I
be
mean,
ideal.
And it's
In the
safe,
city center,
it's
that's beautiful.
Safe. Again, it's safe, right? Like you're not having to play Frogger.
Is that
Going
the thing?
from here
is
to
that,
there
Is that
and,
the thing
like-
that they put in on 11 Mile?
Wait, on 11 mile. what do you
Yeah,
mean?
it's still under construction. Now they got the bloody lights up there, but they never turn them on. And it's like, stop if you see a person. And it's a big arm, and it's
Yes.
a boulevard, and it's.
Yes, it would be similar to that big giant mass.
Yeah,
signs
yeah,
where,
that's at 11
The
miles.
stop
Yes.
sign says stop. Yes.
It's 11 Mile heading towards Greenfield.
Oh, okay.
Just when you come around the corner. No
Yeah.
sooner, and that, boy, is that gonna create, people aren't watching. That is an accident waiting to happen, I tell you, because I'm telling you, go around the corner and then boom, you gotta stop really suddenly. Because they turn into the neighborhood. It's kind of it's like the 11 Mile thing when they're turning on Southfield here at 11 Mile.
Yeah.
But is that technically a Hawk, what they put in?
Yeah, the Hawks are they're the ones that flash. You have to press the button to activate it, and it flashes, and it talks, and it's like, yeah, literally the crosswalk says.
Okay, so
sign
the
says
good news
stop.
for us then is
It
if
says
you
walk.
do the grant and we are awarded even one, well, then we win.
Yes.
Yes.
And if not, it's okay,
already
we've
budgeted.
already budgeted.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we can't lose.
Hey, one just quick question on one item, please.
Yeah.
That's going down significantly in next year's budget is the planning and consulting fees.
Yes.
And what's the reason for that?
To line us up with what's in that cost share.
Okay.
The cost share, we actually have it set out that the DDA pays $15,300.
Gotcha.
And so that's where that reduction comes in. The city's gonna have to make sure that they take on those costs because it got a little crazy.
All right. So with the budget, any other questions, comments?
We can always do a budget amendment if we have to.
Yes, correct. Yes. we
Takes
can-
a lot of the pressure off, right?
Yes. We usually
It's
do,
a good
like we'll do
framework,
another
it's
one.
solid.
We'll do a budget amendment
Yeah, your
for
next meeting.
21, 22, right? That's where we're at, yeah. In June, well, to clean up anything we may
Right, because when her
need,
stuff
and then we'll
comes
do it
in,
again
when her stuff
in
comes in, right.
January.
So this
Right.
motion is to push this to council?
This motion is to adopt this budget and then forward it on to council for inclusion in their public hearing process. So,
All right.
I'll present a motion to approve the fiscal year 2022, 2023 DDA budget and forward on to council.
All right.
Second.
And I have a motion, and a second, any discussion, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Any other new business?
no other
All
new
right,
business.
public comment?
Barb, you have anything you want to say? All right.
I have a question. Go ahead. No.
No, you were first.
Okay,
Go
wait a
ahead.
second. That goes to council,
Yes,
but it's our budget is separate from council.
correct.
So why is
It's
it?
filed and received, more or less.
Okay, I was going to,
Yeah.
that's
They,
it, thank you.
they don't, there's no, there's no mechanism or opportunity,
Because
for-
we operate as an independent
correct.
entity from,
Piggyback the public hearing.
Yes, we piggyback on the public hearing, it's included, I mean, it, overall.
Because it's
part of-
so it's
actually-
more or less informational.
Yes.
Right.
Because it
And
will
we're
actually,
sharing.
Right, because
Gotcha.
actually what I will do, Bobby, is I take it and I have to put it into the accounting system and everything. So
In
with the
order for
regular
you
budget,
to execute.
with the
Gotcha.
regular budget, so
Gotcha.
with our city
Good.
budget. so.
Okay, I'm sorry. Go
No,
ahead.
you're fine, you're fine. So, I just wanted to ask, and I'm not even sure if this is the place where I should ask. Every year, Logos, in partnership with Hope for All Seasons, we have been doing a backpack rally. We have been partnering with the city. The financial part of it primarily historically has fallen between Logos and Hope for All Cities. We purchase the backpacks, we do the school supplies, we do the food. But the city was getting stuff from the county, like the smokehouse. Chief McKee would partner with Oakland County and get vehicles. They would get bounce houses and things like that.
Okay.
With the restructuring and the loss of the staff, we're trying to find out, would that still be a go this year for us to
I mean,
partner and be
The
able to
promotion
get
committee.
those?
it's usually at the end of August, yeah?
Mhm.
Middle of August.
Could the promotion committee take a look at that?
That's what I'm
That's a
thinking.
marvelous
That sounds
opportunity
like
to
a great
promote
thing
Lathrup
for the
Village.
promotions committee to get involved in.
We could have it here at the city.
That's where you
Yeah,
do.
That's where we
Yeah,
normally
yeah,
have it, and
yeah.
it's spread throughout the park. And like I say, Chief has always been very helpful with partnering with the other law enforcement to get us things here with the fire department, and then the bounce houses, and then Oakland County has like the big games, like the giant chess and different stuff like that. So we just wanted to know this year, because normally Chris calls us in March and like, we need to start having meetings. But
Gotcha.
Gotcha.
there was no Chris to call us in March, and now it's May. So,
Do you have the date?
August 20th.
When does school start? Isn't it like
sometime
after Labor Day or
that,
something?
yeah.
It's like
Usually
they always
after,
have
but
like
there's
a
a weird push
go to
move
school on
things.
Friday and then you have Labor Day weekend off. It's so confusing.
Yeah, school will be after August 20th. I'm not exactly sure when, because my youngest
Golly, but
is
that's a great opportunity for
25,
businesses
so.
to come together
And maybe
to
there's
support.
things that businesses may want to
Yeah, businesses
donate
might want to, well, I was just thinking of first, Michigan First.
might want to
kinda
donate
snacks
like
and
thousands of pencils and book and notebooks.
We
But
would
I think that that would-
eternally grateful if Michigan First wanted to donate. We would. I tell you.
I'm emailing them right now, so.
Right?
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
and I'm sure Wallace
Cracking that
Financial might
email.
want to like do some, I don't know, financial literacy or something.
We
We do, we do.
Right.
There's a lot of
whole crew for
business
Right.
opportunity there.
So I
we
think-
should, we should turn this into a big event.
We can do that. Okay. We'll get with the
Businesses and community coming together for kids, right? It's the heart of Lathrup Village.
You say August 20th?
August 20th.
You have a time?
We could get on the
I'll get back
news.
with you on that.
We could get on the TV, on the news, and have them interview, walk around.
Yeah, we
They
need
get to
a,
interview you.
we definitely need a larger news presence.
Yeah, Agent Bobby
Yeah.
at the interview site.
I need what Bobby said.
Exactly.
I'll be there with
Any
Dan.
other, I know we want to be respectful here. Any other questions?
Can we do some type of promotion for hiring a former professional athlete? I mean, we need to finesse everything. I traveled the country for 5 years playing professional showball. I played in Ukraine, for Christ's sake.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, like,
We did not know that about
We
you.
you don't know me at all? Nobody knows me.
don't worry, they will get to know you.
Yeah, we'll get to know
exactly.
you.
So
Exactly.
everything needs to be promoted. I don't care if you get some new Jordans. For the first time, if you buy a brand new pair of Jordans, we're taking a picture of the Chiefs Jordans and we're
There you
putting it
go.
on social media.
Right.
Everything has to be promoted. That's
Right,
one thing
right.
that I'm gonna focus
That's exciting. That's really thrilling to
Sure, why
hear
not?
that.
At least with
Because we'll
social
see
media,
the
why not?
popo
That's
packing
one
up
thing.
those things, you know. for the
Yeah,
video
people
camera.
need to know what's going on. People need to feel included.
Yes, exactly. You got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyone else?
Do we have to have an adjournment, or do we just say
Yes, you need
adjourn?
an adjourn.
Hey, I'll make a motion. We adjourn.
I'll second it.
Okay, you're on the door. See ya.